Ref app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings studios, it's time to get locked into the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino call-in line at 405-329-9000 or text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
1 hour of radio till the weekend, Grayson. We're almost there.
Amen.
1 hour of radio till the weekend, and a weekend that will bring us Super Bowl 59, which is really one of the more anticlimactic Super Bowls that I can remember.
How?
You're giving me a weird look like you don't agree. I'll explain.
I don't.
For one thing, we all know how it's going to end, which is the Chiefs win again, the Chiefs three-peat. That's the inevitable reality. That's what we're going to get on Sunday evening when that game goes final. And also, it's a rematch of a Super Bowl that we just had 2 years ago. And, I'm not opposed to championship rematches if they're very obviously between the two teams that are like the titans of the sport. I'm thinking back to the mid-2010s and the Warriors and the Cavs when they were clashing every single year in the NBA Finals. That was towards the very end of the point in my life where I actually paid attention to the NBA and cared what was going on in professional basketball.
Oh, I thought you would have been done by that point.
Yeah, well, that was about where it ended for me. But at that time, there was really no question. Okay, the Warriors are the best in the West. Cavs are the best in the East. Don't mind seeing the two best teams in the sport go at it every single June for a title. But we know the Chiefs are the cream of the crop in the AFC and have been. It's astonishing to me that the only two quarterbacks that have ever beaten Patrick Mahomes in the postseason in his career are Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. That's it. That's the list.
Mm-hmm.
But on the NFC side, I like many folks that watched him and covered him while he was at Oklahoma, I would love to see Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see Saquon Barkley and the redemptive season that he had in Philly after he was cast off unceremoniously by the Giants. I would love to see that season culminate in a Super Bowl title. Unfortunately, Grayson, once again, we all know it's not going to happen.
But does that not speak to the greatness of the Chiefs? And to your point,
Oh, it absolutely does.
And
yes.
not to mention the way the Chiefs do it is because they're better coached than everybody. Let's just be real. They're better
100%.
coached, better prepared. But you mentioned the Cavs and the Warriors, and you're correct. They were the best teams in each of the conferences. Was it not readily apparent that the Chiefs were the best team in the AFC all year long, and the Eagles were the best team in the NFC all year long? I feel like we're doing the same thing. Not to mention, it goes further than the players and the coaches. The best GM in the AFC is Brett Veach of the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
The best GM probably in the entire sport is Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles. So this all makes sense. I feel like you're getting exactly what you're asking for.
I've become jaded by Chiefs fatigue. I'm glad it hasn't caught up to you yet. Chiefs fatigue is just ruining the entire experience for me.
And the reason it hasn't caught up to me is because I spent my entire childhood hating on the Patriots. I'm done hating on greatness. I'm a Broncos fan. I'm supposed to hate the Chiefs. But I'm done hating on greatness. I'm not gonna hate on the Chiefs. I'm just gonna enjoy this. I'm not gonna be a LeBron hater. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm not gonna hate on the Dodgers because they're a big market team that spends all the money. I readily enjoy seeing greatness.
Let's see. He's a Lakers fan. He's a Yankees fan. He'll be a Chiefs fan by this time next year. You can count on it.
Will not happen. Will not happen.
By the way, I only recently became acquainted, and this is off topic, but are you familiar with the concept of a home warranty?
A home warranty?
Yes.
I'm familiar with the vocab.
I don't really know if I made a mistake here or if I just legit got scammed. Because my wife and I bought a house on Halloween of last year. We moved in the middle of November, so we've been there for close to 3 months now. We bought the home brand new. It was new construction. And so I get a document in the mail within a week or two of moving in that says, hey, call this number to activate your home warranty. And so I'm thinking, okay, and I don't know.
Did you buy one?
Well, like here's the thing. You hear warranty, and what is a warranty? What generally is a warranty?
I mean, it covers you if something breaks.
Correct, and it comes attached to whatever you buy. Generally, you don't have to pay a premium for it, or if you do, it's explicitly stated you have to pay this much extra for the warranty, right?
Right.
But this document just says, hey, call to activate your home warranty. And so I'm thinking, I'm not familiar with this concept, but I'm thinking, okay, like all the appliances are new, like everything is new. It's new construction. And so that probably makes a lot of sense, right? Like I've got a warranty on all of the new things in my home in case they break. So if all I got to do is call and activate it, shoot, I'll call and activate it. So I call the number, and the representative on the other line is like, yeah, we can go ahead and activate it for you. It'll just be a one-time 75% service fee to activate it. So I said, great, okay, give me my card number. He takes down the information. I get charged $75 or whatever, and so I'm thinking, okay, good. He said, all right, you're set. You're covered through 2028. Anything breaks, we'll pay to replace it. At no point throughout the process was I told, we're going to be charging you $200 a month to keep this warranty active. At no point was that explicitly stated.
Uh-oh.
But January rolls around. I think it was January 2nd. I get a text from Capital One. By the way, Capital One, great with security. Awesome company. Hey, did you authorize this purchase? And I don't even know what the description. It was something very generic, like home warranty insurance, whatever. $199.21. Like, no, I did not authorize this. So I get on the phone with the company once again, and I'm like, hey, I just got charged $200 for my home warranty, and you people never told me that I was going to get charged monthly for the home warranty. You just said I had to activate it. You never said I had to pay any sort of recurring fee. And he gives me the runaround. He's like, well, it's premium coverage up to $15,000 in damages, repairs if you need them, ceiling fans, appliances, water heater, all this various stuff. And I'm like, okay, you never told me, though, that you were going to be charging me money every month. So what the hell is this? And he goes back into the mumbo jumbo. Yeah, $15,000. I mean, platinum package. And I said, no, we're not doing this. He said, okay, well, I'll text you all the documentation. You can look it over and just let me know how you want to proceed. And so I'm like, okay, sure. I'll be nice. I'll play the game. So he texts me all the information about everything I'm covered for under this home warranty. And I look it over, and I call him back, and I said, yeah, I'm going to need you to go ahead and cancel that policy. And he said, why? And I said, because it's not worth $200 a month. He said, well, odds are something's going to break in the next 4 years, and you'll need to replace it.
I hate it when people say this. Because people say this stuff when I get stuff fixed on my car before I wrecked it. But, yeah, like
odds are you're going to have to use it. You have the platinum package. We're giving you an extra bonus year of free coverage.
I had a new alternator put in my car, and they said this exact same BS.
Mm-hmm. And I just said to everything he would say, and he kept going on for like 5 minutes explaining all of the benefits of the package. And at every junction, I was just like, yep, I'm aware of that. Please cancel it. And so he gets to the end of his spiel, and I'm like, okay, great. Can you please cancel it for me now? And he said, okay, you're electing to self-insure your entire home. I am removing you from our plan. You will not be charged moving forward. I'm like, great, thanks. Hung up the phone. Now, needless to say, I got my $200 back because, again, Capital One, very good company. that takes care of their customers. And so I said, no, I did not authorize this charge, and they took care of the rest. So I'm not out any money for the whole experience. I am wiser for it, however. Eric in the OC asked, didn't think to call your realtor first? No, Eric, I didn't.
Everybody on the text line is like, yep, this was a scam.
Yes, it was a scam.
I'm glad you went through this before I did. I'm glad you're 2.5 years older than me because
yeah, just watch out for this.
Now I know when I buy a house.
It was not the only letter
this.
I got about my home warranty. Apparently, these companies are just like wolves, where anybody that buys a home, they'll just start sending them, activate your home warranty. Never doing that again.
Now, at least, here's where this went well for you, kind of. At least you talked to a real person. Because the thing that has been grinding my gears to no end is talking to these automations. Whether it's setting up my, because I got off my parents' phone plan a couple months ago. So whether it was setting up that, whether it's dealing with insurance, whether it's dealing with my bank or whatever, I cannot stand talking to a damn robot. Put me on with a person so I can stop dialing different numbers in these automated menus.
Oh, the age of AI, folks. It's going to be society's downfall. The Normanite says, Parker, that's high. Nothing wrong with the home warranty, but premiums on the home warranty should be $40 to $80 a month. And if you have a pool, it's well worth it. If not, probably self-insured on the appliances is best. Yeah, I was like, $200? What in my life do I spend $200 a month on outside of the mortgage? Is there anything that I pay $200 a month for?
I mean, maybe your car insurance, but
no,
that's
my
why
car insurance isn't half that expensive.
Okay.
Holy smokes, man. Like, again, life lessons. I guess it's worth it, if only to ensure that I don't have to go through that experience again. Muskogee Finch said $200 per month for 48 months equals you can pay for just about anything yourself. Glad you escaped. And yes, I did. Christy on the text line says, I bought a new construction home 3 years ago. Odds are something won't go wrong in a brand new home. And if it did, the warranty probably wouldn't cover it. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, if I lived in an old home where I had to actually worry about things breaking, then I can understand it. But everything is brand new. Everything shouldn't break. And if it does, I can probably get some sort of a warranty, probably have some sort of a warranty agreement through the actual manufacturer.
That's what I was just about to say. Don't the companies that make the appliance where you got it from, don't they offer warranties? Doesn't really happen through the entire house? At least in my experience, Denver from Indiana heard 200 and immediately broke down.
Oh, lessons learned the hard way by a first-time homebuyer, folks. Thanks for living this experience with me. John and Ada says mortgages filed are public record, so these vulture companies dig through and send junk mail without their company name, but mention your mortgage filed with your lender so that it looks legit. Always trash those.
It's like the people, I don't know if you get these spam calls too, Parker, but the last 3 months I have gotten a million spam calls about delinquent tax returns. The first couple freaked me out so much, I actually went back to where I filed my taxes last year and was like, do I still owe stuff on this? I don't, but they still call me and occasionally freak me out.
Jesse G says, yeah, you fell for a scam. I'm an appraiser. A warranty would have been in your contract. If you have a new build, your builder should warranty their work for a period of time, which is exactly what the realtor told me throughout the whole process. And so I just assumed, again, an assumption I evidently should not have made. I just assumed that document and that call that I had to make was pertinent to the warranty that my realtor had already explained was there for me. I just got to make one call and activate it? Sure.
Tattoo Baker, when did y'all stop wearing diapers?
Oh, my goodness. Apparently not long ago enough.
I don't know.
Sheesh.
A texter in the 918. Preach, Grayson, I despise talking to robots. Give me a human being. I'm glad somebody else feels me on that one.
Greg from Lawton says, Parker, this is no doubt a scam. Look up their website on whois.com, and you can see when they created their URL. If you gave them your social security number, you're likely to have your identity stolen. Well, so far that hasn't happened. Haven't had my identity stolen yet. But, look, I don't know if everybody operates this way, but I've just basically conceded the possibility that my social security number is out there floating in the ether, and at some point it will end up in the wrong hands, and I will just have to react accordingly. because there's really no way when the government has all your information already, there's really no way to keep secrets about yourself anymore.
No.
Or to keep confidential information confidential.
I mean, your location, I mean, that's the whole thing. Not to go too political here, so I'm being tongue-in-cheek here. When people were talking about how there were chips in the COVID vaccine, remember that? I was like, if the government wanted to know where you were, you have a cell phone in your pocket 24/7.
Reformed Homer says, Parker, I need to come check on your sod in your yard. It's mandatory, and it's only a $50 fee. $50? Shoot.
Those were the worst.
Yeah, I can handle that, Reformed Homer. Just tell me who I need to make the check out to. Oh, my goodness. Adulting, man. I haven't been doing it for near long enough, apparently. And Ryan in Bixby says, Elon stole all your information illegally a few days ago. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I saw whatever happened with Elon Musk and his cronies regarding all of our personal information and the government's access to it. I don't really know the details of what all went down, but I just saw that on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, none of my information is private anyway at this point.
At this point, you would think that this show is sponsored by a VPN company. Because those people are going to make a ton of money. Texter in the 918. Parker, you and Grayson are so articulate that I forget you are both kids.
Well, thank you. I suppose I'll take that as a compliment. Puerto Rican Sooner says Parker is the type of guy to fall for blinker fluid. Okay, listen.
You have
listen,
no idea.
Puerto Rican
You have
Sooner.
no idea how many homegirls I've had that I've played that prank on.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
It is really invigorating when you have a gullible friend and you can, like, it doesn't matter how many times you pull one over on them, they will keep falling for it. They will keep taking the bait. I had one friend like this in college. It was fantastic. Anything we told her, she would believe.
Yep.
Somebody said, hey, Parker, what was the name of your first pet? 405-651-3439. We didn't talk any sports this segment. My apologies, folks. Looks like most of y'all got a kick out of it anyway. We'll try to get this show back on track coming up on the other side. You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network. 405-651-3439. Again, that's the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Stay right here. We'll be back.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Fall in love with OKC's favorite casino.
Because at Riverwind, we've got it all.
Grab a bite at one of our many restaurants.
Or sip and spin at our high-stakes area.
And the Showplace Theater at Riverwind is the hottest spot for live music.
Shoot your shot at our $80,000 Cupid's Quest giveaway.
For the best gaming and unforgettable entertainment.
It's gotta be Riverwind.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68-team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68-team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street and more from noon to 7. The Ref's 68-team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
Coach Stoops here. Join me every week on The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Monday morning at 7:45, I'll join the voice of the Sooners, Toby Rowland, and TJ Perry for the Stoops Review. We'll break down all the action from the weekend, and on Thursday afternoons at 4:45 with Teddy and Tyler on The Rush as we get you ready for the weekend slate. It's the best time of year, and you can find me exclusively on The Ref. Download the KREF app today so you listen from anywhere in the world.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture. For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money, they're in the business of taking your money. Hi, this is Will Gosney with Yala Gosney Attorneys at Law. Have you ever had an insurance claim and thought, wow, I really am in good hands, or these folks truly are treating me like a neighbor? Well, that's where we can help. We'll deal with the stress, we'll get you back to your normal life. So save our number in your phone, and if you're ever hurt in a wreck, call or text us at 405-800-8080. It's 405-800-8080.
In the age of internet and all things fast-moving, it's hard to find people you can trust. When it comes to your home or business electrical systems, don't settle for anything but the best. Wade Electric has been serving Oklahoma since 1969 and will gladly address your electrical needs with diligence and professionalism. They specialize in service upgrades, exterior and accent lighting, power automation and controls, shop and outbuilding wiring, LED conversions, and more. Go with a name you can trust and call Wade Electric today at 405-329-1940.
OU softball, baseball, and gymnastics offer great opportunities for you to get out for some exciting action and support your Sooners. Going to an OU event or game? Balfour of Norman on Campus Corner invites you to stop by and get some new OU gear. Whether it's a softball jersey with your favorite player or just a new lucky shirt or hat to wear to the game, Balfour has everything you need to be in style and showing your colors. Cheer for the Sooners in the best and newest styles in Sooner sportswear. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour continues to be Sooner fans' favorite OU store and has everything you need. Balfour has the latest styles and fashion trends for men, women, and children. You can find something for every Sooner fan. When it comes to hats, they have you covered with more than 100 styles to choose from. Even OU socks, so you're literally covered from head to toe. Graduation is right around the corner. They have OU diploma frames in stock. Or you can always get a gift card so they can choose the perfect gift for themselves. Come see us on the corner or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
Man, shout out to the Brown Bag here in Norman. That was some good eats for lunch earlier today. Folks, the Brown Bag is a Hal Smith operation, so you know it's quality. You can cater your Super Bowl party with the Brown Bag. Save time, order online for convenient pickup. You can call ahead, order through the drive-thru window without getting out of your vehicle. Fresh ground chuck smash burgers, delicious chicken tenders. They have crinkle fries that are actually good, Grayson, which is a tough thing to pull off because
this is true.
Most crinkle fries suck. The Brown Bag has crinkle fries that are good.
Have you go ahead and finish the promo and I'll tell you this.
Dine in, drive through, carry out, call ahead, or order online. Many ways to get your Brown Bag fix. Located in Norman in the Brookhaven Center. You can call them at 405-857-2744. Continue. What were you saying?
Do you remember when Sonic first released those, they call them groovy fries?
Groovy fries.
Do you eat at Sonic a lot?
I have not eaten at Sonic in probably 5 years because Sonic has terrible food.
You don't even get, well, yes, correct. But you don't even get like a cherry limeade from there or something?
I'll get a drink from there every now and again.
So I'm like you. I hate their food except the mozzarella sticks. But they tried, they released these new groovy fries, right? They're crinkle fries, essentially.
Okay.
And one of my friends made me try them. They're disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. So when you brought up crinkle fries and how Brown Bag has awesome crinkle fries, legit crinkle fries, they're awesome. That's what it made me think of, how bad Sonics are.
Man. I had quite the Brown Bag fix earlier today.
That was
before
good.
We went on air, had a little diner burger, had some tenders, had some of those crinkle fries. It ain't healthy food. But if all we ate was healthy food, man, life, would it even be worth living? I justify it too because I have the same smoothie every morning as essentially my breakfast, which is just as healthy as it could possibly be. I mean, just like loaded up with. Let me think. What all is in it?
I'm curious.
Yeah. So it has a banana. It has dragon fruit, strawberries, passion fruit, acai. And then I do whey protein, collagen peptides, chia seeds, and then you got to have some liquid in there to bind it all together, right? So I do some whole milk, and I do some black tea with agave.
Ooh.
All of that goes into the smoothie. It is delicious. It tastes very healthy. It is very healthy, but it's also delicious. I will probably never get tired of it.
I do something like that. I need a new blender, but I do something like that, except I throw spinach in there too, just so I can get my vegetables in for the day, because I don't like eating vegetables, so I'd rather drink them.
I justify all of my poor food choices with something I call the banana principle, which is not tawdry, to be clear.
We weren't going to go there after yesterday.
It's tongue-in-cheek. I have so many jokes, so many inside jokes with people from my college days that involve bananas. Again, none of them tawdry, all of them sincere. But the joke is that you can eat whatever you want as long as you eat a banana afterwards. It makes it healthy.
Interesting.
The other thing I did for the entirety of my freshman year, I lived on the 11th floor of Couch at OU my freshman year. And every single day after I ate lunch at the cafeteria, I would get a banana from the cafeteria because they would let you carry out a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
So you couldn't take anything else except for a piece of fruit. That was the one thing that they would let you go. So you could take an apple or an orange or banana out with you. And so I would get a banana, and I would go and I would put it in front of my RA's door. I have no idea why. It was just a stupid thing. But we were college freshmen. We did stupid things. I made sure I always put it there when no one was around and when my RA wasn't there, so he never knew. To this day, I still don't think he knows which of his residents left a banana in front of his door every single day of the week.
I know we got to talk about sports, but I stopped messing with the RAs in terms of pranks and whatnot. Just to clarify, I stopped messing with the RAs after I got put on housing probation my freshman year.
Housing probation? I'm not going to ask.
No, I can tell you, me and my buddies' first weekend back from a longer Christmas break, because it was the first semester after COVID, so we got a longer Christmas break because we didn't come back after Thanksgiving. We threw a rager in the dorms. Yeah, and got caught.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, folks, as we shift gears here and as we do our best to talk some sports on this Friday edition of Locked In, look, clearly we're looking forward to the weekend. We know all of you are as well. But recruiting is the primary focus of this show. And for those of you that have questions and comments, the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439 is where you can get them in. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can chime in via the YouTube chat. The YouTube poll question today is, which Sooner do you expect to have the biggest impact on the outcome of Super Bowl 59? Jalen Hurts, Samaje Perine, Hollywood Brown, or write in your candidate here. If you think Grant Calcaterra pops off and catches 3 touchdown passes, let us know. But here's what you're going to want to pay attention to in the weeks to come. The 2025 cycle is, for all intents and purposes, over. It's a wrap. Now, as we shift gears towards 2026 and we start to go full throttle on this cycle, you've seen several OU targets lock in their official visits, and that'll be something that happens over the next several weeks with regularity. Is these guys will start locking down their official visits. They'll start putting dates on the calendar. They'll announce those dates. You'll get a sense as to not only who is officially visiting Oklahoma, but when are they officially visiting Oklahoma. The date that you're going to want to watch out for. The date, if you see him, if you see a guy visiting Oklahoma, taking his official visit to Oklahoma on this particular date, that's probably a good sign. That would be June 20th. June 20th through the 22nd, that is the Champ U Barbecue for Oklahoma. Now, it's not going to be their only official visit weekend. They will host other official visitors throughout the month of June. I would guess that they probably have 3 OV weekends when all is said and done. Generally, the way it goes is that they have one official visit weekend that's huge that they try to get all their top targets out there for, which is the Champ U Barbecue in this year. That's June 20th through the 22nd. They have sort of like a backup official visit weekend, which if one of their top targets already has a visit set for the 20th through the 22nd and they can't get him to back out of that visit and come to OU instead, they'll say, okay, let's get you here on this date. And this year, that date for Oklahoma is June 6th through the 8th. So you'll probably see a substantial amount of official visitors on the 6th through the 8th as well. And then there's always that 1 week where I would guess you maybe have 3 or 4 guys that for whatever reason can't be there for either of those dates, and so you just kind of have to shoehorn them in. For instance, last year, that was the weekend of the 5th through the 7th of June. Oklahoma had Desan Brame, Cade Petchak, and Darius Afalava in town for OVs. That was the weekend that they all could get there. That was the only weekend they all could get there, and so Oklahoma made it work. But their 2 bigger official visit weekends were the 2 that were later in the month of June. So June 6th through the 8th, you'll see plenty of official visitors. June 20th through the 22nd, though, if you see anybody schedule an Oklahoma visit on June 20th through the 22nd, that is how you know Oklahoma is in very good standing with the prospect in question.
You keep referencing this Champ U barbecue.
Yes.
And I'm going to date myself in terms of how long I've lived in Norman.
That's okay.
What is so special about this? I'm guessing it is a real barbecue.
Yes.
Okay.
They do serve barbecue.
Okay, so what is so special about this particular event that makes you say Oklahoma's in good standing with these guys if they come on that weekend?
Because, well, 2 things here. One, it is the last OV weekend before the summer dead period. So
right, yeah.
Generally, you're going to want to do your best to get the last shot with these guys. And so there are many teams that vie for targets to come in for their official visits on the last possible weekend before the dead period hits, which is generally the last weekend in June. This year, it's the second to last weekend in June. But it's significant not only because Oklahoma will get the last shot at all of the prospects that visit on that weekend, but also because it is the event at which they have all of their commits in town for their official visits. So they will get those guys peer recruiting the uncommitted targets. And also, it's the one weekend a year that has the most pomp and circumstance. It is Oklahoma's handpicked main event on the recruiting calendar, if you will. So anybody that they can get to town on June 20th through the 22nd, they will get to town on June 20th through the 22nd. If Oklahoma could have every single one of their official visitors in town for the 20th through the 22nd, that's what they would do. If they could have every single one of their official visitors in town for the Champ U barbecue, that's what they'd do. Obviously, that's not entirely realistic, but they will push to get all of their top guys in that weekend. And generally, the reason Oklahoma has such a high success rate locking those dudes down is because they get the last word with all of the recruits that are taking a full slate of OVs through May and June. Make sense?
That not only does that make sense, I think it's a smart move. Recruiting football players with barbecue probably isn't going to hurt you. Let's say that.
The food is always quite good. Can confirm. Travis Davidson used to was it the Champ U barbecue where he would cook the food, or was that another recruiting event? Travis would have to let me know.
Does Travis cook?
Do you not know this about Travis?
No, I did not.
Yes, that is Travis's background.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
That's why they call him Grill Boy.
Okay.
Because he owned restaurants before he got into the
Yeah, definitely didn't know this.
Yeah, he owned restaurants. The restaurant that he was most closely associated with was a restaurant called Trey's up in Tulsa for years and years. His handle, I can't remember if it was his Twitter handle or just like his handle on the message boards for a long time, was Trey's Travis. But yeah, he was a restaurateur. And so that's why many of our listeners will jokingly call him Grill Boy. That was a pejorative nickname that originated on Sooner Scoop, I believe, for Travis Davidson. But he has reclaimed it, and the ref army has reclaimed it. And so it is no longer pejorative, but it's just kind of a fun moniker that he holds. But yeah, that was his deal.
Fair enough.
He gained popularity in the infamous Twitter space. I don't even know what you would call it. When Lincoln Riley left in 2021, for weeks on end, there were a series of nightly Twitter spaces that Travis hosted that had like thousands and thousands of people tuned in. And so, because people just wanted to vent. People wanted to talk about the coaching exodus, the departure of Lincoln Riley, and obviously the new era under Brent Venables. So that was where Travis gained his popularity with the fan base, and he parlayed that into a gig at the Ref, which is great.
Which is striking while the iron's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that's good. I mean, how to gain popularity? Host a crash out.
That's right. Brian from Maryland says Travis slung those tomahawks at the barbecue. That's what it was. He was cooking the tomahawk steaks, and it was at Lincoln Riley's house, and he left the smokers there because he anticipated Riley was going to be around for a long, long time, and it would be an annual thing where he would come out and smoke tomahawks, and then Lincoln Riley left. And so there was a whole saga about Travis's effort to get his smokers back because they were in Lincoln Riley's garage after Lincoln Riley and his family had already left town and gone to California. So he had to find a way to get his smokers back. It was a whole soap opera on Twitter there.
That's hilarious. A texture in the 307, that's the state of Wyoming. Weekend started 2 hours ago. Already have the smoker going on a 14-hour brisket and on the second glass of E.H. Taylor.
E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but
yeah, I don't drink. I imagine that's whiskey or something.
That would be
why I don't know what it is.
Guess.
Zach from Guthrie says, "Dang, Parker, you ordered a double whip frappe with 3 pumps of caramel, half soy milk, half whole milk, 3 pumps of mocha, and 5 pumps of vanilla from Starbucks too." Listen, Zach.
That's a fair question.
Just because I don't get up and drink black coffee like so many of you doesn't mean I'm a soy boy. I certainly am not. If you ever catch me drinking soy milk,
no.
Mm-hmm. Put me in a straitjacket.
Do you have a Starbucks order if you go to one
I don't go to Starbucks.
Do you go to any place like that?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
And if I did have a Starbucks order, it certainly wouldn't be a double whip frappe. Zach from Guthrie. Put some respect on my name. Please and thank you.
Brian from Maryland. I believe the space was called OU Rumors and Therapy Session.
OU Rumors and News was what it was called, but it eventually became a therapy session.
This makes a lot more sense because I have heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit another break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up Locked In on the other side. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Thanks to Dorsey Jones Buick GMC for their sponsorship of the show. Excellent prices, excellent service. Half-price oil changes on Saturdays if you travel out to El Reno and do business with the folks at Dorsey Jones Buick GMC. More on the other side. Keep it here on the Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
Hey, Sooner fans. This is Jalen Moore. You're listening to The Ref, the home of the Sooner fans.
Do you like to stand out in a crowd while wearing the best in OU apparel? The Jimmy Austin Pro Shop carries the best brands you can wear to work or even dress up events. Lines such as Lululemon, Travis Matthew, FootJoy, Greg Norman, Grayson, or Turtleson with the OU and Jimmy Austin logo are sure to catch everyone's eye. You don't have to be a golfer to shop at Jimmy Austin. They also do corporate special orders for you and your company. Call them today, 405-325-6716, or visit theougolfclub.com for more information.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68-team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68-team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street and more from noon to 7. The Ref's 68-team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
What are you waiting for? If you're anything like me, that question keeps you up at night. So don't wait for someone else's green light. Do the things you love right now at Moore Norman Tech. We'll get you out of the classroom and into the real world with hands-on experience and whatever feeds your fire. So get after it. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Moore Norman Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. Are you ready to make this a Valentine's Day to remember? Our favorite Antwerp diamond suppliers in the store, February 7th through the 9th. Choose from perfectly matched sets for earrings, gorgeous diamonds for a proposal, and an amazing selection for pendants. Our prices and selection simply cannot be beat. Purchase yours during our Antwerp Diamond event, and you could be our next Antwerp Diamond winner. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
Tired of your current living situation? Now is the best time to make a move. Interest rates are dropping and Home Creations is offering the best financing around with rates as low as 3.625%. This will save you hundreds per month on your brand new Home Creations home. Live like a champion today by calling Holly at 405-364-9999 for full details.
364-9999 means Home Creations.
APR 6.508%.
So what do you do if you're 30,000 feet in the air, the weather is bad, disco is fading fast, and somebody just killed one of the flight crew? Better extinguish your cigarettes and assume laugh positions as the Sooner Theater invites you to join the Mile Die Club this Valentine's Day weekend, February 12th through the 15th. The murderously funny and not quite right dinner and show is an adults-only evening benefiting the programs and productions at the Sooner Theater. Tickets are on sale now at SoonerTheater.org.
Hello, Norman. This is Mayor Larry Heikela. I'm honored to have the endorsement of our brave firefighters and dedicated police officers. Their trust in my leadership reflects our shared commitment to keeping our community safe and thriving. Let's work towards solutions that ensure a safer, more prosperous future for all.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikela 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
Hi, I'm Ashton and I'm with the nonprofit Fostering Futures. Every day, children are removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. In these critical moments, we step in to support these vulnerable kids. We work alongside child welfare workers to meet the essential needs of safety, stability, and healthy connections, as well as providing enrichment opportunities. But we can't do this important work without your support. Consider donating at fosteringfuturesok.org. Together, we can offer children a brighter future.
Porter Moser, moments ago, was asked about Jeremiah Fear's availability for tomorrow's game against Tennessee. Obviously, if you were listening earlier, you're aware Fear's dealing with a leg injury right now. I almost said ankle. It's not an ankle. It's a leg injury. That has put his status in doubt for tomorrow's game against Tennessee, and Porter did not provide much clarity. He said, I'm going to defer to the availability report at 7. So, I guess we may know tonight what Jeremiah Fear's status is for tomorrow's game against the Volunteers. Maybe we'll know nothing at all because he could be listed as questionable. And at that point, you're looking at a true game time decision type of deal for Jeremiah Fears. But no doubt the Sooners need the sensational freshman point guard active and healthy to be able to have a shot tomorrow against the Vols. Parker Thune, Grayson, Singleton here with you on Locked In. It is the Ref, the home of Sooner fans. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. A listener chimed in via the text line from the state of Kansas and said, Parker, no Sonic, no Starbucks, no drinking. What vice do you have? Are those like the 3 cardinal vices right there? Sonic, Starbucks, and alcohol?
I didn't think Starbucks and Sonic were a vice.
I can tell you the last time I ate Sonic. It was on my bachelor party, actually.
What?
Yes. So, long story short, we were at Lake Cypress Springs in Texas for my bachelor party.
Okay.
Just doing water sports and stuff, guy things for the weekend.
Okay.
And we drove down to Fairfield, Texas, to go to Cooper Farms. You familiar with Cooper Farms?
Heard of it. Haven't been there.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. It's a peach farm. It's a convenience store that backs up to a peach farm, and they just have peach everything.
Yep.
It's amazing. And so we drove down there. On our way back, we realized, shoot, it's lunchtime. And if we wait till we get to Lake Cypress Springs to eat, then we probably will just have to start getting dinner ready at that point. So we should probably stop somewhere. And if you've ever been in East Texas, especially on those county roads in East Texas, there's not a lot out there.
No, there is not.
But there's always a Sonic.
Yes.
And so we stopped at Sonic. I hadn't eaten Sonic food in several years prior to that, and I was quickly reminded why that was. It's terrible, man. Everything just tastes like oil.
That's yeah. No, you're not kidding.
Brian and Bixby says Parker's Vice is banana pudding. Ain't that the truth? Banana pudding, you put that in front of me, it's going to get dangerous.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Banana pudding, man. Yeah, I got to control myself when I get around banana pudding.
Okay, so that's like me with cheesecake.
You're a cheesecake guy? See, cheesecake is a little bit too rich for me, generally speaking.
Yeah, I think we did talk about this the other day. Yeah.
Can't really stomach a whole lot of cheesecake. I can have a little bit, not a lot. On the topic of recruiting, by the way, if you're not subscribed over at OUinsider.com, that's a great place to be right about now as the 2026 cycle kicks off in earnest. Obviously, it's been rolling for some time. Oklahoma has had a couple of 2026 commits dating back to last summer in Ryder Mix and Jaden O'Neal, a couple more recent ones in Will Conroy and Daniel Odom, the fine wide receiver out of the state of California. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this all unfolds, Grayson, because this is something else we discussed earlier in the week. There are always positions in a given class where there's more depth than others. This is a really, really deep class of offensive linemen. And it doesn't really feel like any of these major programs in the Mid-South are going to wind up coming up empty with offensive linemen, just because there are so many excellent options out there. Texas will probably sign a great class. A&M will probably sign a great class. Heck, SMU's probably going to sign a great class. You'd think Tech, they always manage to find some under-the-radar sleepers in the state that turn out to be good players up front. But for Oklahoma, man, it's almost similar to the conversation surrounding wide receivers that we had yesterday on the show, which is, at some point, do you have to say no to somebody? And if so, how do you prioritize the board? Because it's great to have Will Conroy's commitment, but that creates a bit of a crunch for the other interior offensive linemen in this class, because there are probably only 2 more spots. There might be 3 if it's the right 3, but look at all the guys that Oklahoma's right there in the thick of it with. Drew Evers, Nick's younger brother. Noah Best, Midlothian, Texas, originally from Owasso. Chancellor Barkley, kid from the state of Florida, who has already booked his Champ U Barbecue official visit. Going back to what I said about the Champ U Barbecue last segment, that's a guy you're going to want to keep an eye on. Pupungatoa Katoa from Euless Trinity.
Hell yeah.
Which is a fun name to say.
Good job.
Yeah, and he's an enormous dude, 360 pounds.
That's about as big as his name.
Yep. And who else? Who am I missing? Oh, yes, Puleleite Primus. There's another fun one.
That sounds like something
Texas.
from Transformers.
It's a pretty cool name.
That is a really cool name.
And he's a really good player. Hang on. Hold on. One moment here.
Huh?
Will Fish on the text line says, bananas are not only not healthy, they are in fact deadly to a diabetic like myself. They are basically sugar wrapped in a peel. Will Fish, certainly don't mean to be insensitive to your plight as a diabetic. I mean, Steely is also a diabetic, so I work with one every day. But you're never going to convince me that bananas are not one of the absolute healthiest things that I can eat. Maybe it is not the case for you. But for me, bananas, like I eat a banana, I feel so much better.
I eat them before I go work out.
Uh-huh.
I remember when I was a kid, when I had to have my foot surgery, I was low on potassium when they did my blood work before there, and they just gave me 2 bananas.
And there you go.
15 hours before my surgery.
And you're all set.
Are they really not healthy?
They're very healthy. I refuse to believe otherwise.
Somebody else on the text on the text line earlier in the show, this was Tana from Texas. Leave the spinach out of your smoothie. Tons of oxalates. Fake news that spinach is good for you.
Yeah, and I don't put spinach in my smoothie anyway, because like if you put spinach in your smoothie, especially if you got a bunch of other stuff in it, it doesn't come out green. It just turns brown, and then it looks unappetizing and weird.
What kind of spinach are you eating?
Regular green spinach.
I've never had a spinach turn to smoothie brown.
Really? Maybe you just use more spinach than I do.
Maybe. I mean, but you also use a lot more fruits than I do.
That is true.
You use a lot more different stuff.
Our poll is closed on the YouTube chat, which, by the way, yes, we are streaming on YouTube every single day. Which former Sooner do you predict will be a difference maker in the Super Bowl? 72% of you, no surprise, said Jalen Hurts. 15% said Hollywood Brown. 11% said Samaje Perine. And the other 2% were apparently sucked into the vortex. So that's how it breaks down.
Who would be your pick out of those three or any of the other Sooners that are in the Super Bowl?
Well, it's easy to sit there and say Jalen Hurts because, he plays the quarterback position. You're probably going to feel his impact the most. But I don't know, man. Like I mentioned this to you before we went on air today. You remember the guy that popped off in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs? Their very first. Well, I shouldn't say their first because they won Super Bowl 3. Like
4.
But Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl win, going back to February 2020. The guy that probably should have been the MVP that day?
Damian Williams.
It was Damian Williams. Former Oklahoma running back Damian Williams, who had 2 crucial touchdowns in that football game. Who knows? Maybe we get a little parallelism 5 years later, and Samaje Perine is the guy that comes out of nowhere and has a nice game for Kansas City to help lift them to their 4th Super Bowl in 6 seasons. Ugh, I hate saying that.
Monday's going to be fun if they win on Sunday. I would go with Hollywood Brown. Because the Chiefs always have some wide receiver that you don't think is going to have that big of an impact, have an impact. Last year, it was Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who caught a touchdown in the second half. Mecole Hardman was the one that caught a deep ball to get their offense going in the first half. The year before that, it was Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore, of all people, who caught the last 2 touchdowns. So I would go with Hollywood Brown. I would keep an eye on Hollywood Brown. Sooner Soldier, if bananas are bad, why is it this will load. Why is it recommended to eat when you go through cancer treatment? Greg from Lawton, bananas are bad for you on a flat earth. Damn. Lax 32. Who cares if bananas are healthy? They are nasty.
Couldn't disagree more.
Could not disagree more.
Although I do know many people who are
really?
just can't do bananas.
Interesting.
My wife doesn't like bananas.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I love bananas, but it's okay. Different strokes for different folks. It's the second time I've said that this week. Gunny of Stutzman Army on the
Not going to react to that.
Uh-huh. Gunny of Stutzman Army on the YouTube chat says, cooking with Grill Boys sounds fun, but getting baked with me would be better. Yeah, Gunny, we'll make that happen. One of these days we'll do a remote out in Porter, Gunny style. Because you know what else they got in Porter? Peaches.
Oh, that's right.
And they are delicious.
Also on the YouTube chat, people are weighing in with their score predictions. Go ahead and throw them out there if you want. Johnny,
see, I know what I want to happen, and I want Jalen Hurts and the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. But again,
what do you think's going to happen?
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. It's going to be like watching a movie that I have already seen a dozen times, and no matter how much I want the ending to be different, it's going to be the exact same. It will be a one-possession game in the 4th quarter. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs will engage in some sort of witchcraft and wind up on the winning end. That's the crazy thing about the Chiefs at this point. Like, if you've watched them throughout the 2024 season, they're not blowing teams out of the water.
They didn't score more than 30 points in a single game until the Bills game.
Mm-hmm. They're just skirting by, man. But they always win. They always win one-possession games.
I keep saying this about the Chiefs. They are very good at winning games. And that's not as obvious a sentiment as it sounds.
No, you're right.
Texas did that this whole year.
Yeah, they really did. It'd be fun, certainly, for Sooner Nation to watch them crash land back to earth in 2025. Which, another thing to bring up, somebody on the text line mentioned earlier when I mentioned Jeremiah Fear's status for tomorrow. Well, Porter got fired by Illinois State, right? Nobody ever talks about that. Yeah, here's the thing. Coaches can get better over time, just like players, and perhaps the most shining example of this is the guy that's building what might be a program that has dynastic potential at Texas, and Steve Sarkisian.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Sarkisian got fired at Washington. He got fired at USC.
He also got arrested.
He had to go through the Nick Saban School of Career Rehabilitation. And here he is, leading a Texas program for which the expectation is in the next few years they're going to get over the hump and they're going to win a championship. Whether that's a realistic expectation or not, you're welcome to your own opinions on that. But right now, Texas is objectively one of the best positioned programs to compete in the 12-team CFP era moving forward. And if they hadn't hired Steve Sarkisian because, well, he got fired by Washington and he got fired by USC, then who knows? They might have wound up with another Charlie Strong, Tom Herman experience. So I refuse to castigate Porter because he got fired by Illinois State 20 years ago.
I ditto. Got nothing to add to that.
We've been all over the map for the past hour here on Locked In. We are out of time for this week.
You got a score prediction?
My score prediction is, let's call it 34-31 Chiefs.
I got 34-30 Kansas City.
There we go, folks. We'll find out. We'll know when we get back here on Monday. Same time, same place, 2 p.m. Monday afternoon. We will see you then. For Grayson Singleton, I am Parker Thune. Hey, don't go anywhere. The Rush is